Well, hello everybody. This is Jerry and Fern here at the Timothy Hill Children's Ranch, and we're delighted to have you this week with our Fireside Chat. Last week we talked about thinking, Fern, and you shared a wonderful passage from Philippians 4, and today we want to look at a passage from Romans chapter 12, and I'll read that passage, and then Fern, think about what you want to share from this passage. Paul is writing to the church at Rome. He's never been there, but he knows some people in that church, a lot of people in that church, and he's writing to encourage them. And I can tell you that he encourages me all the time. He says, "Therefore I urge you, brothers, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as living sacrifices, holy and pleasing to God. This is your spiritual act of worship." The way we live is our worship to God, right?
Yes.
And when you love your neighbor as yourself, that's an act of worship. And when you're thinking on spiritual things, that's an act of worship. When you're loving and taking care of your family, that's an act of worship, isn't it? One of the mistakes that we've made in our culture is that we've tried to put God in a cubicle. We've put him at maybe 11 o'clock on Sunday morning in a church building, rather than realizing that God is here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. He's in our lives, and we should live the kind of life that our life comes up to before God as our worship before him. He continues, "Do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." The mind is connected to transformation. You know, one of our sayings here at the ranch is that this is a place where transformation takes place through love. And that's really true in all of life. And love is connected to the way you think and the way you feel and the way you act. So he says that be transformed by the renewing of your mind, then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. God has given us the wonderful ability through our thinking to be able to know what his will is and to do his will, have the courage and the strength and the faith to be able to do his will. In verse 3, he continues, "For by the grace given me, I say to every one of you, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought to think, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment in accordance with the measure of faith God has given you." So that inspires me, and I hope it does you too, Fern.
It does.
So we're in the process of helping to guide all of us in thinking upon things that are spiritual, things that will make your life better, things that will make your family better, things that will make your community better. And it all goes back to the way we think. And I have a few quotes here, Fern, I want to share before I go any further. And this particular quote is from a man by the name of Terry Pratchett, and I don't know who Terry Pratchett is, but I think he's with a group called the Diggers. He said, "The trouble with having an open mind, of course, is that people will insist on coming along and trying to put things on it or in it. It's good to have an open mind, but somebody has said that it's like an open window. You need to put a screen up over the window to keep the bugs out." And there's so much happening in our culture today when we have all of the social media and the ability to have instant communication all around the world. We need a screen on our window, because not everything you read in social media or hear in social media is really the truth. So we need to be sure that we think in terms of what has God communicated, and God is the author of real truth, and stay focused on what he has communicated with us.
I think it was Henry Ford who said, if you think you can or if you think you can't, you're both right.
Yes.
Either is right. And Jesus made it through this world because he was constantly thinking the thoughts of his Father, thinking love, no matter what anyone did. Even those who crucified him on the cross couldn't keep him from loving them, because God is love, and he was thinking love. And he had to discipline himself mentally, spiritually, physically, and socially. But he began with mentally thinking.
I recall, Fern, in the first grade, we had a little picture book of a train that was trying to go up a hill, and it was saying, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. And it was trying to climb that hill. And it was connected to the thinking of this train, which was kind of personified as almost a person. Albert Einstein once said that the world as we have created it is a process of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. And there are a lot of people during this COVID-19 that we've been through over the past 4 or 5 months now, who think that there's something wrong in the world and it needs to be changed. And the way we can change the world for the better is to change our thinking. And that's what Einstein said, and he was a pretty smart guy. Plutarch once said, the mind is not a vessel to be filled. It is a fire to be kindled. So think of your mind as a part of God's creation and get fired up. Dream dreams and see visions of great things that could happen, and of how your life could be better, and how your family could be better, and how your community could be better, and how this whole country could be better. And it's going to be related to your thinking and the thinking of the other people around you. And so we can be set on fire and help change the thinking of everybody around us if we really allow God to influence us and control us and work through us and live in us and bless people through us, which is, I believe, what Jesus was trying to tell us about when he came to this earth 2,000 years ago.
Happy thoughts.
Happy thoughts. Well, I'm going to give you one more quote from Thomas Edison. 5% of the people think. 10% of the people think they think. And the other 85% would rather die than think. Well, I want you to be in that 5% that are people who think. And if you'll do that, we'll change the world. One person at a time, one family at a time, one community at a time, and one nation at a time. So God bless you all. Have a great day, and we'll look forward to seeing you on our Fireside Chat next week. Bye-bye.